Got a brand new tactic for you guys today, my 4231 Testudo. I'm naming it Testudo because it is solid. We'll dive right in, see what you think, and see how I ended the season. Trial with Valencia. I think you're going to be fairly impressed, I hope. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Anthony, aka Tufty on the Tube. New tactic for you today, my 4231 Testudo. Solid tactic, hence why I named it Testudo. Not much gets through this one. A little bit of a disclaimer as always. I haven't chosen the best team in the league. We're currently in La Liga with Valencia. I trialled this tactic. I didn't want to pick Barcelona or Real Madrid. I don't mind. I'm not criticising anyone who does that and puts tactics on. But for me, you know, I could do that and call it the goal destroyer, league destroyer, 100 goals a season. Not about that. I like to show you something a little bit different. Leave a little bit for you to kind of maybe put your own stamp on with this tactic as well. And this one's no different. It's a solid tactic, but I think there's ways that we can improve it. I don't think we got the most out of it, if I'm being completely honest. So we'll quickly dive into it. Talk about kind of performances, results, show you a few goals that we scored with this tactic. And towards the end, we'll go through the tactic itself. During then, I'll probably highlight a few little spots where I'd probably look to improve, maybe offer some suggestions. But please pick this tactic up by all means. Run it yourself. See how you get on. That's what I do it for. Like I say, I don't pick the best teams in the league. I like to have somewhere like kind of mid-table teams, just outside the top six. See if I can, because I always think if I get them firing, then if I was going to chuck it on a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, you know, I'd expect it to be kind of overperform anyway. So we'll jump right in then, see how we get on. So you've seen some of the goals we've scored there. Great link-up play between the midfields and the kind of the wide areas. Certainly with that kind of wing-backs as well. We discussed the tactic a little bit in depth a little bit later. But as you can see, competition-wise, second in La Liga. Great result. Like I say, massively overachieved. Media prediction had us down as 9th. Certainly weren't a squad that was expected to finish this high up the table. Not a squad with a great deal of depth either. As you can see, lost only 3 all season. You know, in La Liga, against kind of like Real Madrid, Atletico, Barcelona, Athletic Club. You know, we should never really been up that high. Great results as well, I think. You can see losing only 3 all season. Have a little look. So Celta Vigo away, Osasuna and Real Sociedad. So really, we didn't even lose to the kind of the top 2, Real Madrid or Barcelona. Draw wise, we did pick up a couple of draws. Barcelona at home. I think they're the most notable. Athletic Club away. Probably looking at that, looking at the home results, I'd argue, and certainly away to Mallorca, that's probably points lost. So with a bit more in-game management, as I always say, you can maybe winkle out a few more points out of those kind of 9 draws. Like I say, all I do, like I say at the end of every video, I'll create my tactic, I'll put it in. System manager takes over the day-to-day run of everything. I don't do any training schedules, set pieces, anything like that. So he picks the squad, the players, and rotates them around as he sees fit. So this is just a reflection of the tactic I've chosen. A little bit more management. I'm sure you can squeeze a few more points out of this tactic as well. And like you say, 87 points we finished on, 1 point behind Real Madrid. Pushed them all the way. Kind of 18 points clear of Atletico in 3rd place. And I think the surprising thing is, as we go through this tactic, I don't think it really blew the league away either. I think it was just very solid, very compact. Goal difference of 41. Either suggests that we didn't score many or we didn't concede many. So we'll have a little look through that. See how we can kind of balance it out later on the tactic and how we can maybe improve certain areas. Looking at these kind of schedule-wise, you can see great runs, unbeaten runs kind of all the way through. The odd little loss scattered here and there. 3-1 away to Sociedad. Just spoke about there. Copa del Rey first round looks disappointing away to Albacete. Maybe Osasuna away. Again, that may have been squad rotation, squad depth. I don't think we're blessed with kind of a really in-depth squad. But we'll go through it. We'll see where we're at. I've looked at the league table a little bit more in depth. So looking at that, again, 38 played, won 26, drawn 9, lost 3, scored 64, which is not bad. Looking at that, we're kind of fourth, maybe best in the league. Conceded only 23, which looking at that again, I think that's probably the best. So certainly defensively solid. Probably scored more goals than I initially thought when looking at the kind of the squad, kind of goal scorers and stuff. 64 is not bad. We're up there with Atletico, who I think probably arguably have better striking talent than us. We've exceeded Barcelona, which undoubtedly have better striking options than ourselves. Lewandowski. So overall, it's probably been a little bit harsh on that tactic. I kind of thought we hadn't scored many, but really, yeah, I mean, obviously somewhere behind Real Madrid. But overall, I'm happy with that. 87 points in total. Great season. So a quick look at the data hub. Look at the general performance of this. 1.68 goals per game. Probably not the best you're going to see. Like to see a little bit of kind of a few transfers, build that squad depth up. You may be able to increase that, and we'll talk about that a little bit further down the line. Conceded per game, 0.61. Expected goals per game at 0.8. So conceding well less than a goal per game. Really solid, really kind of defensive. Again, goals per game, if you're guaranteed kind of over a goal a game, you couldn't really argue with that. I'd like to see that a little bit higher, around about maybe 2 goals per game. Really kind of make that a little bit more attacking. But we maybe look at kind of tweaks where we can kind of implement that. Passing completions, 88%, so fairly solid, fairly compact. Tackles one at 77 as well, so defends really well. Scores goals, not as many as I like, but we can improve that. And concedes very, very few. Certainly wouldn't want to change that either. So looking further into our stats, in the kind of squad menu, stats-wise and goals-wise, Hugo Duro, our advanced forward, coming out on top of 15 goals. I'd like to have seen a little bit more from people around him, and I think that's where we'll have to look at when we look at the tactic. Nearest one to him was Diego Lopez on the 6th, and you have a series of 5s and 4s. A few people chipping in, but it's just hard to see where them kind of 60-odd goals come from, to be quite honest with you. It kind of doesn't really stand out to me, as though we've kind of got multiple goal scorers. Duro obviously being the main man. I'll go to. Like I say, we'd like to have seen a little bit more around him, but yeah, that is what it is. But we can always add a few tweaks. This way you can take over, put your little stamp on it. Assist-wise, you see Jose Aguirre, 15 assists. You see which role he occupies. He's obviously on the left. I'll say we had him as a complete wing-back. And that kind of, wasn't really expecting those stats, to be quite honest with you. Really aggressive. Really loved that role, clearly. Behind him, Diego Lopez, winger. Fran Perez, a winger on the right. And then we've got kind of Fulquier on 4 and 3s and 2s again. Probably not as many from midfielders I'd probably expect to see, but maybe that's down to the tactic I chose, the style. So you can tweak this, see what we can get out of it a little bit more. But overall, not too bad. Solid, without really blowing anyone away in my mind. But we've already seen we did score enough goals. We created enough. Maybe nice to see something a little bit more explosive, a bit more exciting. But if you're taking over a team like Valencia, maybe you got the first transfer window disabled, you want to have something a little bit rock solid, or if you're doing a journeyman, you found yourself in a team that's way down the league, you want something a bit solid, still get your wins, get you out that danger zone. This could be the tactic for yourself. So heading straight into the tactic then, I chose starting with the goalkeeper, Mamardashvili. Tried him as a sweep keeper on attack. Really aggressive, dribble more, take more risks, already kind of implemented in that kind of role. Fulquier is the inverted wing back on attack. Just the instructions I had on him was tackle harder. The rest were already on, dribble more, cut inside with the ball, take more risks. Maybe I would change that, thinking about what we're going to talk about going further up the pitch. But we'll carry on just for a second. Mosquera, just as a simple central defender on defend. No additional PIs on there. Diakabi, take more risks, hold position. Gear is a complete wing back on attack. cross more often, tackle harder. Papulo, DM on defend, tackle harder, mark tighter. Deep line playmaker, just on tackle harder. Again, no additional kind of PIs. Fran Perez, just crossed into the centre. He's a winger on attack. Hozabel, whoever you pronounce his name. Take more risks, shoot less often, tackle harder. He's an attack midfielder on support. Diego Lopez, inverted winger on support. Again, shoot less often, tackle harder. And Duro, just quite simply advance forward on attack. No additional PIs. Kind of encourage him to shoot as many sees fit. Haven't got to shoot less often, anything like that. For Mosquero, I would maybe add tackle harder on as well if you want to add something additional, as well as Diakabi, but kept that off the time being. Want to reduce the number of free kicks I was maybe giving away or penalties, and had the kind of midfield do all the kind of hopefully hard work, kind of closing down, tackling harder, getting that ball back. So we spoke about Perez being on the wing. I would like to see a little bit more of him when he's 7 assists as an out-and-out winger. Maybe that's down to the inverted wing back in Fulke here. So the idea was obviously got Pepelu sat back as a DM. Fulke here kind of dropped into here. So maybe he was just kind of bypassing from Perez, even though I had kind of looked for the overlap on things like that. Maybe with him getting into these positions, into the centre, he was just pinging balls into kind of the attacking midfielder or the incoming kind of inverted wingers and advance forward. So it may have been bypassing Fran Perez a little bit. If you want to try and get a bit more of Fran, I would either suggest him dropping him a little bit narrower. So maybe he's also there to receive any balls through, or maybe kind of as a kind of inverted winger, bottom on the left instead of Diego Lopez. Just kind of maybe get a bit more out of him because he's a talent. Seemed a little bit of a waste as well. Didn't get the most out of him. Maybe have Fulke here, or maybe have Fulke here as a kind of a full back. Just maybe on attack, just run up and down. Maybe feeding that ball to Fran Perez for him to then continue on, rather than being that little bit more aggressive and in the middle. Other than that, I don't think I would change a great deal. I think we saw obviously kind of Gear, where he performed was just outstanding. 29 years old, 15 assists, exactly what you want from a complete wing back or any wing back of sorts. Goulamon, again, probably not the most out of a deep line playmaker, only 2 assists, but that may have been down to my kind of setup in terms of the team. Maybe an argument for have him as a little bit more aggressive then, if that's the case, or just be happy with the fact that maybe he was sat there a bit more defensive, sat there back a little bit. Maybe he was just kind of pinging balls to the wingers and the kind of wing back. I've got his passing stats. I mean, he did have passing stats of 89% in La Liga. So he's up there, probably playing them simple balls out the wings, creating moves. So I'm happy with that. If I looked at it a bit more in depth, you probably would say that anyway. So mentality, positive as always. We tend to play our games with a positive mentality. Attacking width, I've gone for fairly wide. Just with the use of the wingers. I want to take a kind of advantage of the good wingers that we did have up front there. Approach play, obviously pass out defence, overlap left, overlap right, hence kind of the width. Passing shorter, I want a little bit, passing directness a little bit shorter. Tempo, slightly higher. Work ball in the box, low crosses, and be more expressive. In transition then, like always pretty much, counter press, counter, distribute the full backs, distribute the centre backs, and roll it out. Nice and simple, nice and compact. Out of possession then, higher press, much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in and step up more. That probably goes against some of my kind of tactics where I also either choose get stuck in or I choose kind of tackle harder. I've tried to mix up a little bit on this one again, and I think defensively it worked out perfectly. I couldn't have asked for any better. Having those kind of 2 DMs, like I say, they're doing all the tackling as well, getting stuck in. Everyone's stepping up, and it just seemed to really absolutely work. Really kind of better than I thought as well, certainly defensive. I did not expect to concede only 23 goals per season in La Liga. I thought I'd probably concede that over 4 games, to be quite honest, against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and kind of Atletico, teams like that. So that's the tactic. Fairly simple. I would maybe look to, certainly at home games, if you want to kind of change things up, be more aggressive. I would certainly kind of ask these to be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe put Diego on attack. Fran Perez, maybe have him sit shorter, sit narrower. Maybe ask Hollabell to be a bit more aggressive. Like say, what he come away with 5 goals, 3 assists. Is that really enough from a kind of attacking midfielder role? I think you'd probably expect a bit more. So you can maybe get slightly more aggressive with these up front. Or maybe switch your full gear to a kind of full back on the right. have him feed Fran Perez, and kind of with his abilities, he's crossing. You know, I'd hope to get a little bit more than 7 assists out of him and 3 goals. Maybe, yeah, didn't use him as aggressively as I should. I'm quite honest with you, maybe I didn't use these 3 here as aggressively. But we got the results. We finished second in La Liga, defended really well. Is it the most exciting tactic you're ever going to see, especially a 4-2-3-1? Maybe not, but I think it's a tactic that can be used. I think it's a tactic that can be made more aggressive. And I think it's a tactic that, because it defends well, you know, you could really have a good balanced season. Bit of in-game management, as I always say. But yeah, I'm happy with that tactic. Like you say, it's not going to blow you away. It's not over 100 goals a season. It's not a league destroyer, but it's solid. And I think it's certainly something you can take this away, build on, make it your own. But like I say, if you're enjoying the kind of content, that's it for now. If you're enjoying the content, please drop a like, subscribe if you can. Really does help the channel. You know, you've taken really well to me tactics kind of recently in recent weeks, and you know, it's absolutely great buzz for myself kind of putting these out and get the feedback I've been getting. So I'll leave that with you kind of for now. Any comments how you change things, if you give this a go, or any of your tactics, please drop a comment. Let me know how you got on, what you changed, if you changed anything, how you do when you save. It'd be great to hear. So that's it from me now. Thanks very much. Bye for now.